In today's video, I am sharing the 5 healthy foods that are secretly harming your fertility. You're eating salads every day. You start your morning with a green smoothie. You snack on yogurt and bananas. You're doing everything right, everything you've read about, everything you've been told. So why isn't it working? What I'm going to tell you may shock you, and it may even make you a little angry at all the wellness advice that you've been following. Some of the healthiest foods are actually sabotaging your fertility journey, especially if you have a cold or a damp pattern. Today, I'm exposing the top 5 culprits that I see that derail women's fertility journeys every single day. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Gina Terinoni. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine for over 25 years. I've helped over 2,000 women and couples to get pregnant. I want to help you too. And welcome to day 5 of our 30-day fertility challenge. If you haven't seen the prior videos, go back. They have little numbers in the corner over the last few days. Today is a big topic, and it can be very controversial, but it's critically important. The idea that a food is universally healthy for everyone is a total myth. A food is only healthy if it's healthy for you and your specific fertility pattern. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the concept of food energetics from a Chinese medicine perspective, and you'll know exactly which popular health foods you may need to avoid. If you're ready to stop following generic advice and start eating for your body, your unique fertility pattern, then make sure you subscribe below. Okay, let's get into it. So in traditional Chinese medicine, we don't just look at calories or vitamins that we get from food. We look at the energetic properties of food. Does it warm the body? Does it cool the body down? Does it create moisture? Does it dry things out? Think about that, because this is the key. Your digestive system is like a pot of soup simmering on the stove. It needs to be at about 98 degrees Fahrenheit to work properly. And when you eat or drink cold things, you're essentially pouring ice water into that simmer pot. Your body then has to use a massive amount of its own energy, its precious kidney yang energy, that's what we call it in Chinese medicine, just to heat that food back up before it can even begin to digest. If you have a cold pattern to begin with, you're constantly depleting your already low reserves. If you have a damp pattern, cold foods congeal and create even more of that sluggish, swampy fluid in your system. So with that in mind, let's look at the top 5 offenders. Number 1, raw salads. I know this is a health food staple for so many people. The majority of women that come to me that haven't been able to get pregnant and they don't understand why, I have them do a food journal for at least 3 days. Salad, 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 at least once a day. But raw vegetables, they're cold, they're very difficult to digest, especially over the age of 30 or 35. They require a huge amount of digestive fire. So for a woman with a cold or a weak pattern, it's like eating a bowl of ice. The swap, lightly steamed or sauteed vegetables or sauteed greens. Cooking breaks down the cellulose and makes the nutrients much more available. If we don't cook them down, you may notice, if you have one of these patterns, that you get bloating or upset stomach after you eat, and that sometimes the food just goes right through you and you may have diarrhea or loose stool. So number 2, I think these are tied for number 1, but green smoothies, especially with frozen fruit. This is a double whammy. You have the raw, cooling nature of the greens, and now we're combining that with frozen fruit and often cold liquid. And then some people even put ice on top of that as well. So we're up to like 4 whammies at this point. It's a recipe for extinguishing your digestive fire, and this automatically creates dampness in the body. The swap, A warm breakfast like oatmeal or congee or eggs. Soft-boiled eggs are the easiest to digest, but make those with some vegetables. And if you love smoothies, make them with room temperature ingredients and add warming spices to them like ginger and cinnamon. But I still would have that as a last resort for food. Okay, number 3, yogurt and dairy. Yogurt is cold. And in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, it's considered extremely damp forming. For women with PCOS or any kind of damp pattern, women who experience bloating, puffiness, a thick tongue coat, usually like a thicker white coat, but sometimes a thick yellowish orange coat, yogurt can be a major problem. The swap. If you feel the need for a creamy snack, try a chia seed pudding made with warm coconut milk, if you like coconut. Okay, number 4, bananas. I love bananas, but bananas are also energetically cold and damp forming. They are particularly problematic for anyone with a dampness or phlegm pattern. So what's the swap? If you want a piece of fruit, opt for something more neutral and warming, like berries or cherries or baked apple with cinnamon. That's the option. Number 5, ice water. But I'm going to throw in iced coffee, iced tea, iced drinks year round. This one's simple. Stop drinking ice water. Stop putting ice in your drinks. And I know for women who follow my channel and work with me that live outside of the US, you guys don't drink ice water like we do in the US. So it's probably easier for you to go, that's not a problem. Drinking ice cold drinks is the fastest way to weaken your digestive system. Always, always opt for room temperature, warm, or even hot water. This one change alone can make a huge difference in your energy and your digestion. And if I could make a suggestion, if you have digestive issues and you feel cold and you feel damp and heavy and have a hard time digesting your food, grate raw ginger and then pour boiling water over that, and you can sip on that all day or just before meals. That will help with digestion. I know this can feel overwhelming, like everything you thought was healthy is wrong. No, it's not about that. It's not about deprivation. It's about making swaps. And this is why generic diet advice for fertility and these fertility foods, this is why it fails. It doesn't account for your unique pattern. This is so important to not treat yourself like every woman you've seen online or read about. Inside my warm womb method, I give you a complete warming foods guide that lays out all of this clearly. It gives you lists of what to eat, what to avoid, and delicious simple recipes so you don't even have to think about it. It's about making this easy and enjoyable. And in the eggquality method, that's my signature course, I take it a step further and I help you identify your specific pattern. And then I give you a list of foods for every single pattern. You probably have a primary and possibly a secondary pattern, because the diet for a damp pattern is much different than the diet for a blood stasis pattern or a deficient pattern. So to find out which foods are right for you, you first need to know, what is your pattern? The best place to start, the Fertility Pattern Finder. The link's in the description. If you don't see it, then drop a comment. So the goal here is progress, not perfection. Just start by noticing. Start by making one swap. Maybe it's room temperature water instead of ice water. That's a huge win. Do it for at least a week, at least. Now, I want you to be honest with me. Which of these 5 foods do you eat every day or most days? No judgment. I used to drink a cold green smoothie every morning, and sometimes I would have 2 a day. So share with me in the comments. I'm going to read and reply to every single comment that I get this week. Thank you so much for being open to this new perspective. Tomorrow, we're going to compare 2 of the biggest diagnoses in the fertility world. PCOS, and endometriosis. And I'm going to look at them through a completely new lens that you probably have never heard of. I'll see you tomorrow.